Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney, and I always start by saying thank you so very much to my new and returning viewers for clicking on this video and spending some time with me today. Y'all, I've been sick for like over a week. I felt like I was getting better, and now my voice is getting all nasty again, and like my nose is stuffy. So I am so sorry if I sound like kind of annoying, because I annoy myself. But I am here for another case. It is Tuesday, the day that I'm filming this it is anyway, so that means it is time for a True Crime Tuesday case. I feel like I need to come up with a name for that. True Crime Tuesday? I don't know. Leave me like some suggestions down in the comments. I am considering like changing my channel name though to like, I've been thinking Short Time True Crime, because like my videos are much shorter than like these really big channels out there that do the like really extensive deep dives. Like, guys, if you're into like the 2 to 3 hour long deep dive, super detailed, like every little detail in there, true crime cases, there is a channel called Kimberleya, and she is phenomenal to listen to. She really does deep dives, and like I said, like 2 to 3 hour long videos, but my videos are very short. So I was thinking changing the channel name to Short Time True Crime. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Anyway, okay, I'm rambling. Let's get into today's case. So, this case happened in Chicago in March of 2008, and we are talking about Robert Lyons. At the time, he was 39 years old, and I'm not sure why, but he moved back in with his mother, Linda Bullock, who was 61 years old. Now, this story was super hard to find a lot of information on, because there's just not a lot of articles out there about it, and every time I searched for Robert Lyons, all I could find was articles about the actor, Robert Lyons. So, couldn't get a whole lot of information, but I gathered up what I could find, and I mean, this case is freaking crazy. Like, of course it's tragic, but it's just absolutely ridiculous, and I wanted to talk about it. So, Robert and his mother, Linda, they didn't have the best, like, mother-son relationship. I guess they fought a lot, and the fights were always very intense, very loud, very obnoxious. Robert suffered from bipolar disorder and didn't always consistently take his medication. So if you know anything about bipolar disorder, you know that consistent medication is very important. And Robert would go into fits of rage and become very angry with his mother. Now, one thing they would constantly argue about, and I found this in every source that I found, which, like I said, was like a handful, but every source that I found said the same thing, that Robert and his mother would always be fighting because Robert would buy flowers for the hostesses that worked at an Outback steakhouse that he frequently went to eat. So he was always buying the hostesses flowers, and this pissed off his mom. Robert didn't have a job, so I'm assuming maybe the fight overall was not really so much that he was buying flowers, but I'm assuming maybe it's because he was using her money. I'm not totally sure. Like I said, he didn't have a job. I found that in a few sources. So I'm assuming it was just using his mother's money, and that pissed her off. So one day in March of 2008, Robert learns that the famous singer Avril Lavigne is on tour, and she's about to have a concert performing at a location that was really close to where Robert and Linda lived. Now, I guess Robert loved Avril Lavigne. I love Avril Lavigne. Who doesn't love Avril Lavigne? But the thing is, he wanted to go to this concert. So, like, okay, that's fine. But remember, Robert doesn't have a job, so he needs his mom to buy the tickets for him. And concert tickets are kind of expensive anyway, but he didn't want the, like, basic, like, nosebleed section, like, the cheapest tickets that you could find. He wanted, like, the up-close and personal VIP, super expensive tickets. And his mom was like, no, I'm not buying them. I'm not doing it. If he could have bought the tickets himself, I'm sure it wouldn't have been an issue, but his mother just flat refused to buy the tickets. I was actually trying to find the tickets online, and I was able to find like the concert location and date back from 2008, which was so nostalgic because I was reading through the concert lineup and like her tour dates and who she was with, and like she was with the Jonas Brothers, and I was like, oh my gosh, to be in 2008 again. Anyway, I was trying to find these concert tickets to see like maybe how much the prices were for these tickets he wanted because I was really curious, but I couldn't find the ticket prices. I could just find like the tour dates and locations. Anyway, so Robert and Linda, they start fighting, and Linda has a knife. Now, I don't think she ever attacked Robert with a knife or anything, but she has it in her hand. So things are getting really, really loud this time, and it's just excessive. So 911 actually gets called from several different neighbors who could just hear this excessive loud fighting going on, and they were worried. So they call 911, multiple different neighbors do. But before the police arrive, Robert grabs a very heavy bottle of liquor from the shelf, and he hits his mother, Linda, over the head with it. Then Robert stabs his mother over and over and over in the back until she is no longer moving. Then Robert grabs a bunch of cleaning supplies like Tilex, Drano, and even some bug spray, and he just pours it all over her body. Now, I'm not totally sure what the point of this was. I couldn't find an explanation anywhere, but the first thing that popped into my head when I thought pouring a bunch of chemicals over her body was maybe using the chemicals to start a fire, but he never did. So honestly, I have no idea what the point of the cleaning supply chemicals pouring all over her body. I don't know what the point of that was, but that's what he did. So it's pretty clear that Linda is no longer alive, and police are taking their sweet time getting to their house. So what does Robert do now? He goes shopping. He just brutally murdered his mother. He's going to go shopping. He went to a mall, several different stores, but he went to a bookstore and he bought a book. But on one of the books, he wrote the name of a character from the TV show General Hospital inside of it. Again, something else that I could not find an explanation for. I have no idea why he did this. But then he drove around for a few hours before police finally caught up with him at a Hooters. Of course, Robert is arrested and put in jail until his trial in September of 2011. So he sat and waited for 3 years on, I believe it was a $2 million bond. During Robert's statement, he said he had not been taking his medication at the time of the events that took place with his mother, and that this was not planned. He did not plan to take her life that day. And the judge actually believed this. It was quoted that the scene in the kitchen, which is where the crime took place, was a scene of absolute chaos. So it kind of looked like it was a sudden thing that he did. Like you could tell it wasn't planned out very well. Robert was actually eligible for a life sentence, and prosecutors suggested he received 65 years, but Judge Catherine Cresswell was checking out Robert's record. She saw that he had a lot of psychiatric hospitalizations, treatments. There were even some attempts of him taking his own life, inpatient treatment. So there was a lot going on in Robert's record. So the jury only deliberated for 2 hours before they found Robert guilty of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 40 years in prison with no chance of parole. And that is the case of Robert Lyons. He murdered his mother over Avril Lavigne tickets. Reading a statement from State Attorney Robert Berlin really broke my heart, because he said, quote, "Linda Bolick did not deserve to die that day by the hands of her own son. She did not deserve to be beaten, stabbed, and have chemicals poured over her body as she lay helpless on the floor. Mr. Lyons, however, deserves the punishment. He has earned it and deserves to spend what likely amounts to the rest of his life removed from society." And that is Robert Lyons. Good Lord. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I want to know your thoughts on what he did, how he did it, the other random things that he did that I could not find explanations for. And I also want to know what you guys think of me kind of like rebranding the channel. So I want to know your thoughts on everything. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, and I will see you next week. Bye.